I, 38 male, have 5 kids with my wife, 38 female. Recently, an incident that revolves around my oldest, 13 female, has caused tension. On Wednesday, my daughter was in gym class and they were playing basketball. The teachers assigned the kids to groups using random numbers. My daughter was playing with a bunch of athletic boys. It was 3-on-3 practice for a little tournament they are doing in class. These aren't permanent teams. My daughter asked the boys on her team and the other team to go easy on her, as she didn't want to chip her nails because right after school she was getting on a plane to go to my sister/her aunt's 27 female wedding. The boys on both teams were trying really hard though, and started to yell at her because she wasn't trying. The boys on her team pulled her aside and said they would give her tips, but she said she didn't need any because PE isn't a real class anyways. She then sat down, and at that point the boys were mad at her and told the teacher she wasn't doing her work, and he gave her detention for not doing the work. After gym class had ended, she texted me telling me what had happened. She said that she hates those boys because they act as police for the gym teachers, and like getting the non-athletic kids in trouble for not doing their work. I get that in other classes when you don't do your work you get detention, so I understand the punishment, but I also agreed with her that it was pity of the boys to do that. My daughter was then asking what to do, because by the time we would pick her up from her detention, we would be extremely tight on time for catching the plane. I was supposed to pick her up from school immediately after it ended. We already had the car packed, and I had taken the day off. I planned to pick up my wife from work and then pick up the kids from the bus stop. I told her she could skip detention because my sister's wedding was more important. She went home on the bus, and I picked her up from the bus stop. My daughter texted me from her school saying she had just been called to the office and her detention was extended to 3 days for skipping. I called the school and explained to them what had happened, but they didn't budge on my daughter's punishment. When my wife found out about this, she was furious at me. She said actions have consequences, and that if we missed the flight or the wedding due to my daughter's detention, that would have been enough of a punishment to change her ways. She also said I was being too lenient on my daughter and I need to toughen up. She said the boys were in a right and that I should stop coddling our daughter into believing she's right. But I told her I worry if we don't believe her, she won't trust us later in life. Am I in the wrong? You are in the wrong, and so is your daughter. You can tell that because it's on her timetable. You, as the adult, should set the example of being proactive. It would have been very easy for you to contact the school, say what is happening and why you need to arrange the detention for another day. The additional punishment is appropriate, but it's also more your fault than your daughter's. You are in the wrong. The correct way would have been to call the school, tell them about the wedding, and ask for the detention to be moved a week. Everybody sucks. You should have called the school as soon as you knew. Your daughter needs to accept the 3 days detention. PE is a real class, and just like science or math, she needs to give 100%. I'll just get straight to it. I'm a college student and this is my last semester until medical school. I've never been able to get a loan. I've worked 5.5 years to get this degree because I have to pay out of pocket, so it takes way longer. I've worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs at a time and barely had a social life. For this upcoming semester, I reached my goal for tuition, so I quit one of my jobs so I could relax a bit. I was a server and bartender at 2 bars and an office job, so I always have cash hidden in my apartment in my closet in a box. And before the semester starts a week or 2 before, I deposit it, so I can pay my tuition. My boyfriend sometimes stays over while I'm there or when I'm not. Since I've been saving for this semester, he's the only one who's been over. I've never told him about the box, but he knows I have to pay for school. Well, yesterday night I got home and put the money in the box because I was going to deposit it today. And it's all gone. I freaked out and tore my apartment up thinking I put it somewhere else knowing I didn't. I called my boyfriend like crazy with no answer. I didn't sleep last night and I was panicking. Then this morning he finally calls me back. I'm yelling at him about my money, and he's acting all confused and like I'm crazy. He comes over and I'm still pissed off, and after a while he finally admits he took it so he can borrow it and he'll pay me back. Where the heck is he going to get $14,000 from in 2 weeks? I went into a rage and called the police and reported the theft because that is what he did. Well, it's been hours now. I guess he got his phone call because his family has been blowing my phone up and his mother has said some really hurtful and racist things to me. They have been harassing me for the past 6 hours now. It's stressing me out even more, and I hate that I'm feeling bad for him, but he stole my money that I've been saving for months. His brother did call and he was respectful and said they will help him pay it back, and I should just go to the police station with him and tell them that I want to drop the charges, but I really don't believe them. I could do that and still never get my money back. I don't know what to do, and I hate that I'm contemplating doing this. I'm just really pissed off and have been crying all day. Am I in the wrong? You are not in the wrong. Do not drop the charges. 14K is a huge amount of money. His family is lying. They are not going to pay you back. Your boyfriend's first response was to lie. He only admitted the theft afterwards. They will take off and run. And you will never see him or any of them ever again. Why would you drop the charges? He stole from you. He deserves to go to prison. Also, if you do drop the charges, it is possible that any insurance you have will be nullified. You might be able to borrow money from somewhere, but they would need to see evidence of your ability to save money. You'll need the police report number as part of this application. If his family is banging on about paying the money back, tell them that they can sell one of their cars as soon as possible and pay you back, as courts usually charge interest to money judgments. You are not in the wrong. You did not get him arrested. You factually and accurately reported what occurred, and why you're now out a full $14,000 2 weeks before you plan to use it to pay tuition. Your better-be ex-boyfriend was arrested because of what he did, not you. Stop speaking to his family on the phone and/or in person. Text or emails only. You're going to have to recoup this money somehow, and your loss is likely too large for a small claims court. Limits vary by jurisdiction. Common reference point is 10K. Unless he's sitting on the 14K in cash, there is a decent chance you will have to go to court to get it back, depending on where you are in the laws there. His family's repeated promises to cover the loss may be evidence that can be used to pursue them in civil court to cover the loss, as whatever he spent it on likely isn't worth 14K anymore. You're well within the territory where you should be talking to an attorney. Do not drop the criminal charges but also pursue a civil case. If he has a job, they can garnish his wages or put a lien on any other assets. Do not drop the charges. So I want to start out by saying that I've been working in customer service for 10 years now. Since my teens, I've completed courses, got qualifications, been a manager and a minimum wage employee and everything in between. I've done retail, fast food, and hospitality. I've seen a lot in the CS world. My main job nowadays is mostly admin with occasional sales thrown in. You still get jerks, but not as much. I work evenings part-time at a popular pizza franchise that I used to be a manager at. I picked up some extra shifts in the week for some spare cash. Having 2 jobs is stressful, and I've been feeling it lately. Tired all the time and trying to keep it together but cracking on with it anyway. Anyways, last night, I was working a shift in the pizza place. My manager needed to pop out for a bit, and I was like, yeah, okay. Running the store on my own isn't a big deal. It's busy, but I can manage. So I was juggling all the stuff I needed to do, then the phone rang. And the man said, "Hey, I want to order a pizza from X name, our competitor." So I thought, okay, prank call. We get them a lot. And I hung up so I could fetch the pizzas coming out of the oven. 5 minutes later, the dude walks in, picks up a pizza he ordered, and starts going off about me hanging up on him. I thought it was a prank call, and he began screaming at me about how he meant to order from the competitor but he accidentally ordered on our website instead. We are one of the main pizza shops worldwide. I find it difficult to believe that he clicked on our website, picked a pizza, ordered it, and paid for it without seeing our logo, which is everywhere. He called me a witch, and I snapped. 10 years of being abused, threatened, and spoken down to in customer service erupted out of me. Something broke inside me. He was swearing at me and leaning over the counter, calling me every name under the sun. I screamed at him to get lost, to go screw himself, to get the heck out of my face and leave. I told him I'd call the police and he screamed, "Do it!" I said I didn't get paid enough to deal with people like him. He blamed me for the fact that our company puts their website at the top of web searches for the other pizza places. I told him that's not my fault. My manager sided with him. The company thankfully supported me and I'm in no trouble. Some people I've told said I'm the jerk because it's unprofessional and he's still a customer. Others think it's hilarious. 10 years of taking these people nonsense. 10 years of smiling and apologizing and bending over backwards. 10 years and I'm only 26. Am I in the wrong? I just read the title of the post and I don't think anybody is a jerk for telling customers to get lost. 99% of the time, they deserve it. You're not in the wrong. I worked retail management for 37 years. I'm positive the guy had it coming. Just because you work in the service industry does not give anybody the right to swear at you like this. When customers start that nonsense, all professionalism goes out of the window. His idiot self can take his business elsewhere. Honestly, you're still young and can do so many other things. Get out while you can. I changed careers at 57 years old and I kick myself every day for not doing it sooner. Do not take the abuse. It only gets worse. You're not in the wrong. Honestly, managers have become way too unreliable to their workforce. Back during my first job during winter, I almost got hit by a car by a customer that came barreling through as I was bringing carts in. Of course, my first reaction was to ask if he was okay and I could get a manager or anything. Well, this guy flies off the handle at me. He just starts unloading, and by that time, I've been dealing with crap with both customers and my team, and I started screaming back. Well, a team lead and manager comes and breaks us up. They completely side with him. I lost my green vest over it and everything. I'm glad at least your higher-ups at least had your back.